So for July's yoga flow, we're really going to focus on opening up the chest and the thoracic spine. So many of us are really rolled forward in our day-to-day life, whether we're on our phone or typing on the computer. This is going to help open all of this up. So all you're going to need is a blanket, which can be found in the yoga room on the bottom shelf. You're going to roll it up like a Tootsie Roll, nice and tight. And for your opening pose, this is just going to go right underneath your shoulder blades. Okay. Long ways, like so. And you're just gonna have your knees bent with your feet knocked, or I'm sorry, your knees knocked together, feet flat on the ground. Your arms just gonna go out to the side. Okay. You want the blanket position in such a way you're not getting too much rib flare, but that you can feel that chest open. So palms up. Some folks might be kind of stuck here. They're so tight so they can come out a little bit wider. And you're just going to spend 2 minutes here focusing on breathing and letting gravity just naturally open up that chest and shoulders. So 2 minutes right here, eyes are closed or a soft gaze overhead. You can even bring the arms up overhead in a diamond if that feels nice to the member. If this feels like too much, you can do the other variation, which is this having this along your spine, opening up a little bit less intense of a feeling here. Okay, so after 2 minutes here, you're going to roll up to seated, and you can sit on top of this blanket if you want for a little extra support for the knees to help them open. We're going to have our ankles crossed right in front of each other. Okay. From here, you're going to spider crawl your hand out to the side. Keep your hip grounded. Once you get your hand out to the side where you can't really reach any further, you're going to inhale, pull this elbow in as you reach up, spinning your heart to the ceiling. We'll spend 5 breaths here, really thinking about expanding the rib cage on this side. 5 breaths here. Then you'll inhale, rise up. Exhale, walk the other hand out. Pull the elbow in. Inhale, reach. 5 breaths on this side as well. Again, spinning your heart. And on your next inhale, rise. This next time, you're going to reach your hand to your opposite knee. You might need your knees to be a little closer together, depending on how bound up you are in the hips. And from here, you're going to reach over and diagonal toward this knee as you open up the heart here. You can have your hand here or behind your head, whichever feels better to you. We're spinning open the chest here with this one. You're going to really feel it all through this side. 5 breaths on this side. After your 5th breath, inhale, rise up. Exhale, switch sides. 5 breaths here, grounding that hip down. It's going to try to pop up. Ground it down. And again, you can do it arm behind the head as well as you prefer. 5 deep breaths here, looking up at the ceiling. Next, you're going to come to all fours for cat-cow. It's kind of a remix on cat-cow. So you can use this blanket again, unfold it a little bit so it's a little flatter, to either support your knees, so you have a little extra cushion, or underneath your wrists, because what we're going to do is stretch out the forearms as we open up the chest. So for this pose, I'm going to come to tabletop first. So knees right underneath the hips, wrists right underneath the shoulders, and then you're going to just take the hands. You can either take them straight out to the sides, which is going to give you a nice big stretch in the forearm, or you can even point them back, which is going to be an even bigger stretch. So we're going to do a version of cat-cow from here. It's a little bit backwards in terms of the breathing. So it's going to just be the reverse order of what it usually is. So what you do for cat, you're going to inhale. As you tuck the tail under and look back at your belly button, and exhale as you open up. You're going to get an extra opening of the shoulders with your hands in this position. We go through 5 rounds of that. Inhaling here in cat, rounding the spine as much as you can, spreading the shoulder blades. Exhale, stick the tongue out. Send your heart forward. It's going to help open up the chest. You go through 5 rounds of cat-cow, adding in that lion breath as you feel comfortable. From here, you're gonna move to your belly. And if you're someone who suffers from a lot of low back pain, what I'd recommend is taking this blanket, again, putting it underneath your belly. It's gonna help protect that low back. So we're gonna come to Sphinx pose. So Sphinx pose, you're just gonna have your elbows pulled under your shoulders, palms are flat on the mat, pressing down. We're gonna go through a version of cat-cow, a little bit of core work actually in this position. So for this one, you are gonna pull your shoulders back, pull your heart forward, inhale, look forward. And then as you exhale, you're just going to look down at your belly button. It's kind of a hollow body position. We're lifting the hips up. So you'll inhale, look forward, pull the shoulders back. Press down in the palms, exhale, lift the hips, look down at the belly button. Gonna get 5 rounds of that. And then after that, you're going to sit back into child's pose. This version of child's pose, I want us to tuck the toes under because we want to really get a deep stretch through the chest. You don't get it as much here. So tuck the toes under, press the forehead down, get 5 deep breaths here. After 5 deep breaths here, you can spider crawl the fingers over to the left, sink your hips to the right. Nice lat stretch. Then you'll spider crawl them over to the right, sink your hips to the left. Then you'll come back to center. From here, lift up the hips and press up and back to downward facing dog. 5 deep breaths here. So slight bend in the knees. Send your tail high to the sky. Shoulders away from the ears. You want a nice arch in the low back. You don't want to be rounded in the low back because the heels are trying to get to the ground, per se. This is more about sending the hips up and back to the ceiling. So you get into that chest. After 5 deep breaths here, inhale, lift the right leg high to the sky. Exhale, you're gonna bring it through as close to that right hand as you can. Set that back knee down. Again, another place that you can use the blanket, setting it underneath the knee. And you're just going to inhale, reach up, sink the hips forward. Opening up the chest. Usually we try to keep all of this really tucked under because we're trying to stretch here. This you wanna squeeze forward, squeeze the glutes still, but you're gonna get a little bit more arch in the back than you typically would get because we're trying to open all of this up here. Inhale. Stay here for 5 breaths. And then if you want, option to add a twist, okay, if there's time. So what it looks like on this side, you're going to use your core, stack your elbow, stack your palms, press into that thigh to spin your heart up toward the ceiling for 5 breaths. You get 5 breaths on one side. Once you have 5 breaths on one side, hands go on either side of that foot, tuck the back toe under, give me another downward facing dog for 5 breaths. And then you'll do that left side. Okay. This is my right, but I wanted to show you the angle of that first side. So you're gonna reach up, digging the hip forward, reach, 5 breaths, and then you're gonna take the twist, stack the hands, spin the heart. 5 breaths right here. Once you're done with that, both hands go down on either side of that foot. Downward facing dog, 5 deep breaths. Then you'll come down to child's pose. 5 breaths right here. Just releasing the low back. And then press up to kneeling. And that, ladies and gents, is your July yoga flow.